Okay, third take, final take, before this fucking camera loses charge again. I hate this shit. All right, guys. So, you ever scroll through the comment section of an extremely motivational bodybuilding transformation, or an extremely motivational transformation on Instagram or TikTok? I can't use that godforsaken site, but only to have some guy, some pencil neck fucking geek, some motherfucker, right, commenting, "I bet he can't fight though," or "Having muscles that large doesn't mean he can fight," or even, "What's the point of having muscles that large if you cannot fight?" Ladies and gentlemen, you are interacting or witnessing the comment left by a DYEL mixed martial arts MMA fanboy. This is probably this is one of the worst human beings you can ever come in contact with or witness speak. Not to be confused with genuine MMA fans who simply consume the medium or the sport out of the genuine admiration of these athletes, the genuine admiration of watching an athlete climb high or be undefeated. Not the average consumer, but this person is a specific individual who is just, they belong in hell. They're awful individuals to be around. They're just shitty people all around, right? These people, right, they have an obsession with these athletes. It's an unhealthy obsession. It derives from their blatant inability of generating any form of respectable physicality in which they can personally take pride in. So, as a result, they live their failed masculine dreams and aspirations vicariously through these MMA fighters. You might be asking, why is that? Why would someone live pathetically and vicariously through another man, right? Well, if you think about the psychological framework of this particular type of person, this DYEL MMA fan, by attempting to see the world from their perspective, you will realize how remarkably inadequate they must feel. For starters, they try their damnedest to ridicule the supposed homosexuality of bodybuilding, while ironically being fanatics for a sport where sweaty, athletic men who are in the best shape of their lives make physical skin-to-skin contact in grapples, clinches, and ground and pound action. Even the mere action of the sweat dripping on another man's face, that is gay as shit out of context. If you said that to a random person down the street, they will say, "Yeah, I'm envisioning hot, sloppy, passionate sex between two men." Yet these same individuals who criticize bodybuilding shows in which, of course, yes, out of context, men flexing next to each other, it's gay. However, out of context, men who are in the best shape of their lives fighting and exchanging sweat particles, it's gay. Like, out of context, it's fucking gay, right? However, these DYL MMA fans will say, but it's not gay, as they lick their fucking lips and envision themselves within the shoes of these men. All in all, what it basically boils down to is bodybuilding is so out of this world and unrelatable to them from a standpoint of functionality and aesthetics that they fixate their gazes upon something that seems more down to earth, but ironically couldn't be more further from what these DYLs can even dream of becoming. A jacked and aesthetic body just isn't in the cards for most of these men. It's not. So what do? These short, pudgy slugs with poor eating habits reject bodybuilding in its totality, deeming it an unworthy pursuit and even ridiculing anybody who is passionate about the art form. Afterwards, they set their sights on men who, at first glance, have bodies and physiques that are attainable. They look at guys like Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, and say, "Oh, their bodies are attainable. What do they do, right?" And not only are they attainable, they have functionality. The functionality, of course, being the functionality of combat, an ability exuding physicality via the mastery of self-defense and mixed martial arts. So you can fuck somebody up effectively. The DYL became a DYL fanboy. Well, the DYL became a DYL mixed martial arts fanboy after living vicariously through these men, realizing that, oh, I can't build a nice physique, but at the very least, I can hopefully train and develop these combat technicalities, these combat tendencies. However, they never fucking do so. They just live vicariously through these men and say, "Oh, well, at the very least, I can't build a nice body, but somewhere down along the line, I can become a better fighter." However, they never fucking do that. They simply watch the sport, and it fulfills their desire. Because as animals, men, like, we're all fucking animals. We have some sort of physicality within us that is laying dormant, and how we exude that, I fucking destroyed my camera just now. I tipped it over. How we exude that varies from individual to individual. However, the DYL MMA fanboy never ever does that, because watching someone else, that is for them. Now, to be fair to the MMA fans, the DYL MMA fans, to be fair to them, right? You watch sports with the intended purpose of witnessing a spectacle of larger-than-life humans performing feats of athleticism beyond your own capabilities. You wouldn't want to watch a game consisting of a bunch of 6-year-old girls at a local park, would you? No, of course you wouldn't. Unless it's your daughter who is on the team, so you decide to request a day off to watch her play the game. Now, on the flip side, what about genuine mixed martial arts enthusiasts who consume MMA content while practicing martial art? They're often in great shape relative to the average Netflix watcher, and of course the DYL, right? They're in great shape, and they have the intellect of determining the vast gap in a fighter's skill set. Due to this, they grasp the sheer difficulty of being undefeated in these organizations, assuming the champion isn't a paper fighter. Now, the enthusiast has no reason to live vicariously through other men, because they already exert their own physicality in a conductive manner towards a hobby they enjoy. Comparatively, the DYL MMA fanboy lacks the mental diligence to even conceptualize putting down their fourth fucking Twinkie, let alone getting up at 4 a.m. to go to a boxing gym or a dojo to hone their own craft. Now, the last point I'd like to bring up is in regards to the annoyance of the DYL MMA fanboys is their assertion of the impracticalities of bodybuilding. They claim that bodybuilding isn't functional, while being sedentary tapeworms who don't even take part in a sport they claim to be diehard fans of. Ironically, natural bodybuilding enthusiasts and bodybuilders such as myself practice a lifestyle and craft that serves more of a function than the brain cells of these pseudo-intellectuals. As someone who has participated in manual labor jobs, I can tell you, I can attest to not giving out so easily when I needed to lift heavy objects or work under harsh conditions such as unventilated warehouses without any air conditioning. I witnessed people cry because their bodies simply couldn't take the physical punishment of an environment of this caliber. Where, not to brag, I was more than capable of enduring more hardship, because prior to applying for a job of that magnitude, of that scale, I went to the park, and I would train underneath 98-degree heat. I would train in gyms that didn't have any air conditioning, and I would do labor for the pursuit of aesthetics. Now, what's poetic, right? What's poetic is, in spite of my pursuit of aesthetics, I developed a significant level of functional strength, and I was able to perform these jobs without being out of breath, without dying from heat exhaustion. Now, to my final point, it's time to address the meme of size doesn't matter within the constraints of combat. The DYL mixed martial arts fanatic uses this rhetoric within every comment section they enter, while ironically swearing allegiance and admiration towards a sport that has weight classes. There is a reason McGregor had to drop weight in order to square off against multiple opponents within a certain weight class. This is done so both competitors are fighting on an even playing field. A man of larger stature evidently has a greater advantage over a man who is smaller than them. This is basic goddamn knowledge, right? What do you think would happen if a bodybuilder such as myself went up against a fucking DYL MMA fan? I'll tell you what the fuck would happen, right? Sure, the bodybuilder doesn't have any mixed martial arts underneath his belt. Yeah, like, I don't have any training underneath my belt, right? However, If you put me up, however, neither does the DYL tactical jackass over here, who swears up and down that he is just superior, right? The result of such a fight would be me, the bodybuilder in question, twisting the DYL MMA fanatic's body into a pretzel and using it as a barbell, where they can finally serve as something that is functional. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great fucking day. Peace.
Choose your fighter!